Hi, hello, and welcome to another Draw With Me / Talking Tuesdays, whatever I called it. I think, yeah, that should be it. Okay, I would work on my comic right now, but I haven't done the sketches yet, and sketches take a lot of focus, so I'm not gonna try to draw them and talk at the same time. So instead, I'm gonna draw some of my characters from another story I have that I love. So far it's called The Cards, but yeah, I love them, so time to draw them, I guess. In the meantime, I have a couple different ideas of what I can talk about. No script, because I'm doing no script so far for these. Maybe eventually I'll do a script. I don't know. But I feel like this is just so genuine, so I really enjoy doing this. It also takes so little time to prepare, which honestly, like, as a comic artist, most of my time is spent, like, drawing my comic and focusing on my comic and planning, especially since I want to finish it this year. So, welcome to the second installment of Draw With Me Talking Tuesday. Okay, so the weird thing is that for my job recently, I've had to start waking up at 4 a.m. to go to work at 5 a.m. because the store I work at opens really early, and it closes pretty early as well, so there's like no night shift really, which is honestly kind of fun. But given my history of waking up, not liking to wake up any earlier than 8:30, and like tending to fall asleep later, I have to say, at first I was like, is this job really for me? I don't think so. But the thing is, I don't know if I'm an early bird or a night owl. The weird thing, my siblings are more of night owls than me. So like they have really hard times falling asleep and waking up early. So comparatively, I seem pretty normal, maybe an early bird, but like waking up at 4 a.m., I was not expecting to ever wake up at 4 a.m. for anything. I was like, if I have a job, it is not going to be early morning. It's just not going to be, because that's impossible for me. But here I am, and I've been working there for like 8 months, so yeah, but it's actually really fun. It's kind of fun waking up before like everyone does, waking up before the world wakes up. It's very fun, and this is one of my days off. Tuesdays are my day off, which is why I am doing this. But yeah, since it's my day off, I got to sleep in. Except today, I only slept in till like 5:40. Right now it's more like 8, but like I am already very awake. I already had my breakfast and my coffee. I love coffee, so but comparatively, some people are just waking up. Other people wake up at noon. I've never been one to wake up at noon. There was only one time I woke up at noon. That was when I had really bad jet lag, and I was like, how in the world did I only just wake up when that happened? So yeah, and then I lose my thoughts, because this character is Lumi. I love her outfit. But I'm kind of forgetting her outfit. Anyways. Yeah. I don't know if I'm an early bird or a night owl. Can someone help me out on this? Tell me which they think I am. Because I've never really gotten up too early, but I've also not been a constant night owl. There have been times when I was like 12 or 13, and I fell asleep at like 3 a.m. and that's crazy. But I've never I've never stayed awake till like 5 or 6, maybe once till like 5 a.m. But that's like not normal at all. So I don't know. I would consider myself malleable, honestly. So I feel like I could go either way, and I think that's definitely a strength. But it can also be a weakness because sometimes I'm staying awake till like 10 and then I have to wake up at 4 and it's a little weird. But yeah, strength, I guess. But yeah, okay, that topic was very shorter than I thought it would be. My backup topic, talking about who I'm drawing and the cards, because I really like these characters. So this is Lumi, she's one of them. I love her. Yeah, she's very cute. She has doll-like features, which is, it kind of comes into her character, which I used to think, okay, so characters have to look a certain way, and then I was like, no, I need my characters to look the most unique they can be, and it's just a constant flip-flop between those two, and honestly, I'm still confused about it. Like, I don't know exactly where I stand on all of that, but their character design should somehow play into who they are, or like the setting. So in this case, oh, that looks weird. In this case, like, you could have their design contrast who they really are. In my case, for this character, I am forgetting her design, but for her design is supposed to highlight her innocence and naivety, and it is a big asset to her story. Like, it plays a really big part in the story. I won't go too much into spoilers, but she's a very important character, and the bad guys are kind of after her because of her innocence and naivety. That skirt is too short. Oh, okay. Right. And my nails are really long right now. I kind of kept them long for the recording, honestly. I'm gonna most likely cut them like really soon after this, although I'll likely also forget to. But yeah, so Lumi is presumably like 16, which now that sounds kind of young, but I think it actually fits her, so it's actually not that bad as having 12-year-old protagonists. I used to have those in stories, and even like 10-year-old, because I was those ages. I'm glad I'm past that. I do think that, honestly, with stories, you can have some of that, for sure. Like, I think there isn't necessarily anything wrong with it. You just have to be careful that you're not going a little overboard and making it like they're unbelievably smart. For example, they're functioning highly above their age. You want it to be believable, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm harsh, but yeah, make sure they're believable, because otherwise people are gonna be like, really? A 12-year-old is doing all this? A 12-year-old is leading a revolution? Is that really possible? Is that really likely? Probably not. Unless they're like a super genius, maybe. But yeah, Lumi is one of the 7 characters. She's the youngest out of them all. Most of them are definitely adults. She's 16. Let's see. Enya, one of the other characters, her name, let me spell it out so you know. It is an Irish name, so it's spelled really weird, but that is pronounced Enya. Okay, we got that down. Which I'm kind of worried about for when I eventually write this, because I plan on making this my next comic. I'm kind of worried people will mispronounce her name and think it's pronounced another way. I'll probably make a pronunciation guide. But I love Irish names. That is a tangent. But yeah, Enya's supposed to be like 17. And then we got Aino, who's 18. Karis is 19, I think. Nebula is 18 or 19. I can't remember. Oh, maybe I should remember as their creator. But, you know. And then, let's see. We got Lucin, who's 21. And then Tethys, who's 23. I think that's all of them. If it's not, I hope you guys can tell me if that wasn't like 7. I think I got all of them though. Yeah, I did. But yeah, so she's the youngest. I'm still deciding whether or not she should be 16. I do feel like that fits her. I like having the variety of ages, even if it doesn't play into it too much. I just like the idea. Originally, the cards was supposed to be like they all join a detective agency of some sort. But I kind of scrapped that idea because, I don't know, I wasn't able to build it like I wanted the story to be built with that premise. So now they are just a group that ends up meeting really, like, they are from like 3 different regions. It's hard to believe they'd all meet organically and be like, yeah, you hate these guys? Yeah, let's go defeat them. Like, that's just most likely not going to happen. I also very much like the idea of, instead of that, kind of like fate bringing them together. Like, they all meet while they're doing the thing, like further down the road. So in order to do that, I'll probably have like 3 different narratives that are all playing simultaneously that all blend into one. So Lumi, I recently decided lore about her that I am not going to tell you because it's spoilers. But it's not at all what I had planned at first when I was planning this story, but it actually makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense for all the characters' motives as well. Like, one of the characters' motives for what they do is all of a sudden revealed, and it's super cool to me. Those look weird. I don't care. I'm just drawing. These are just doodles. But yeah, I was like, wait, this would actually really work. So I'm so glad I figured that out, and it's gonna be revealed much later in the story, for sure. But it has to do with Lumi again. A lot of things seem to have to do with Lumi, but since we're gonna draw someone else now, I can probably talk about them. So I'm gonna draw Enya because I love her. She honestly feels the most relatable to me. She is, well, I would say Lumi is the one who's innocent to a fault, and kind to a fault, which I love that character trait. It's so much fun. I know it's probably very tropey at this point, but I want to show it in a new light as well. So I'll have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that, but I just love it. Now, Enya, on the other hand, at first I was planning on her being pretty positive, and I get that too. She's definitely going to be pretty positive starting out. However, as time goes on, she's going to get more negative and pessimistic, which I feel like that's such a cool way that a character can go. Instead of getting better, they get worse in the way they think, just based on the factors that they have in their environment, in their I'm forgetting the right word, but you know. So she is part of a region where they really value knowledge and stuff. So she reads a lot. Very cool. By the way, her region is also where a lot of academies are, like the academies that everyone, if they're seeking to get more higher education, would go to. And I love that for her, honestly. But she's really cool, pretty smart. I don't know why she's 17, honestly. And I need to figure out exactly how she gets roped into this mess too, because so far she seems like the most disconnected from it all, except maybe Karis. I love Karis. But yeah, Enya is pretty young. At the time, I think I was like her. No. I started writing this story when I was 15. This was 4 years ago. So actually Lumi was the closest to my age, but Enya is 17, and that's rather close too. She's the second closest to my age. So she values knowledge, and so I feel like this kind of goes for a lot of the people, but in valuing knowledge, she values truth, and in valuing truth, she values justice. Now, she's not the one who values justice the most, at least she doesn't show it the most. Okay, maybe she does, I don't know. Because I'm thinking about the other character, that would be second in that, Nebula, and he really values justice, but he's also very quiet, and you don't exactly understand him completely. He's very elusive in his thoughts. Very much the mysterious, aloof character, which is very tropey as well, but I just like it. And yeah, but for Enya, she also values honing her craft. Her craft in this case, okay, there's magic in this world, and Enya has fire powers. So I'm not completely sure if it'll just be bound to the books she possesses. It might, like she has to kind of use certain books as a catalyst. Because for certain characters at least, they do have certain things that need to be their catalysts for powers. And she might also be the same, but I'm still figuring that out. So, but she really likes books anyways, and she probably knows the most about the history, specifically of the region she's from, which, by the way, I still need to come up with names for the regions. Except maybe I already have them. Okay, the reason this story is called The Cards is actually because they're based off of playing cards, and it's going to be really cool to keep that. It might be more subtle. I might focus on other things more than that, like certain themes more than just the playing cards theme, but I'm not sure. But that's where this idea started. And you might be thinking, wait, 3 regions? There are 4 suits of playing cards. Well, technically there's a 4th group, but they are stationed in one of the regions, mainly one of the 3 regions. It's a little weird, but I love it. Yeah, I mean, I could say that for a lot of my stories. But yeah, for Enya, she was I wanting to talk more about Enya? I don't know. At this point, my mind is all like, my brain juice is all over the place. Bear with me. But yeah, since I have not told you what they're going up against, maybe I should tell you that. Maybe that'll make sense. So they're all up against this corrupt group. Let me remember. I think they were the Heart, actually. That's what they're called, because playing cards, yeah, keeping with that. So they're all up against that, and so that means that they're all gonna fight there. Eventually they're gonna meet each other near like the hideout or whatever. I'm still figuring out the exact things, but yeah, they all meet and then they end up fighting together. I need to figure out exactly how that happens, and I also feel like I just said this. Sorry. Again, my mind is all over the place. And I don't know why, but when I'm recording these, my nose gets really runny. This may be TMI. But bear with me if I sound a little congested, because I'm just trying to survive. I don't remember if this was her exact design. That's fine, we run with it. Yeah. So Enya was the first character of these that I actually came up with, Nebula being the second. I am not drawing them in order. Sorry about that. Now let me just finish this sketch up a little bit, clean it up, and then I will move on to probably Nebula, because I feel like that's fitting. Let's put him here, I guess. Ooh. So Nebula is definitely the loner. Oh wait, I forgot to write her name above, just so, yeah. Yeah, Nebula is the loner of them all. He would be the most, the one that's least expected to join the group, but for whatever reason he does. Well, actually that reason is very obvious. He has a strong sense of justice, and he feels that it would be best to work with a group at this point in order to complete that goal. However, it's not exactly like he normally is, because he tends to be more distrusting of people. However, he can also read people really well. So I'm not exactly sure how those two will work with each other, but you know. But right away he does trust Enya for the most part. He recognizes that the two of them have similar goals and similar thoughts, and in general, the region that they're from tends to be more isolated than the others, and they're like, we just want to stay out of everything. No, actually, wait. Okay, I am getting my regions mixed up, because they are not that much. Okay, so they are very much opposed to the ideas of the Hearts. They're somewhat well known, but not mostly. But the Hearts being that cult-like group. I have not told you this, but yeah, they're a cult-like group, and I don't know how much of this I should tell you, because some of it could be considered spoilers. So I'm going to try to keep it pretty quiet. But yeah, since they don't really like the group, the Hearts, at all, but they also just try to stay out of it. Like, they're pretty passive. They just make certain that their distrust of the Hearts is known, and their dissatisfaction with how the Hearts handle stuff. So yeah, and this group is based off of the club's suit. I figured that kind of works well because academic, like, clubs, I don't know. At first I had it as spades, but then maybe someone pointed it out to me, I forget now. But basically I realized, wait, the spades, that sounds more like chivalry. They do not have a big focus on produce. That's another group. And so the ones that are in the clubs, that's Tethys and Karis. Karis actually runs like a flower shop, like a plant nursery, and I love her design. Tethys and Karis are actually the last ones I designed, and I love them. I just love them. I love all of them, but especially Tethys and Karis. I don't know why. Maybe you'll see my love for them, but yeah. I was talking about Nebula. I don't know how I got so off topic, but Nebula, he has the power of lightning. Very, very, very cool. Very judgment. I love that about him. But he looks so emo, looks so depressed. He's giving Batman. And I don't even like watch Batman or read Batman. I'm sorry. But I love him so much. Sometimes. Other times I'm like, why are you here? Oh. There we go. But yeah, he's pretty cool, I guess. He has kind of a savior complex for sure. I'm not sure how exactly I feel about him, honestly. Like, his character is pretty cool. I don't understand it completely. I need to understand it. I am the creator of this character. But, you know, it happens. I don't know why he has a snake on his shirt, considering what symbolism that might mean, but yeah, I love him. Cool. I love them all, honestly. And the cool thing is, he was also given a sword from someone he ran across who was a blacksmith. The sword was handcrafted for him. I'm gonna draw that real quick for you because it's a really, really, really pretty sword. It does not look like, I don't know. Why am I forgetting what my own swords look like? Something like that. And it's a broadsword, and it's a long sword. I think recently I made it like that type of tip instead of just like that, you know. But it can channel lightning. It has inscriptions like on one side, I think, but it also kind of glows a rainbowy glow, which is very cool. So yeah, you know what, I could totally make another page, so I think I'm gonna make another page, and I hope you enjoy my yapping. I'll probably cut some of the transition because I'm using Ibis Paint X, and right now Ibis Paint X has ads, which is so annoying. But anyways, let's do that. I'm saving this because, yeah, very cool. Oh hey, it doesn't have ads this time. That's nice. Okay, I don't need to cut this. By the way, I'm using my newer drawing tablet. I had to get a newer one because I want to be able to draw other places. You see, my other drawing tablet, let me get it. It's kind of old now. It's from 2021. It's been acting up a little. It always needs to be plugged in, and it's one that only works if it's plugged into something. But it's this. It's Huion Canvas 13, I think. But it's pretty good. It's super scratched up. So it looks a little weird, but honestly, I'm still very comfortable on it, maybe the most comfortable, although this has been really fun too. But I'm most used to using the software on that because it runs computer software because it's hooked up to a computer. So I've gotten really comfortable with it, and I'm gonna be sad to stop using that, but for now Oh, I need to do another ad. For now, I have to use that one for like working on my comic because I want it to stay consistent, and it does have, I think, the beefiest stuff right now. So yeah, anyways, let's draw Karis, I guess, because Karis is very cool. I love Karis. Let's start on the right this time. I don't draw her much on the right. Maybe I do. I don't know. But yeah, Karis is very cool. She's like 19 or 20. And yeah. But she's short. She's like 4'11". And I love her. I so love her. But she has green hair as well. Very cool. Very stylish. But yeah, she's a very nice character. I don't know, maybe she keeps to herself on certain things, but so the clubs in general, no, not the clubs, the spades in general like to distance themselves from all of the other groups, especially the hearts and the diamonds. Spoiler alert, the diamonds kind of work with the hearts. No, not that. I said that wrong. Completely wrong, sorry. The diamonds are the most unconventional of the groups, and so they don't care as much as the clubs and the spades do about the hearts, I guess. So they are very interesting people. I don't know exactly what to make of them, but yeah. Anyways, we're talking about the spades. The spades are very agriculture focused. They have a port city, which is very cool. That's where Karis lives, and that's also where Tethys lives. Now, unlike most of the others, Tethys and Karis meet pretty early on. They, I've planned for Karis to kind of have a crush on Tethys. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in, but I think it could be like, she definitely finds Tethys pretty handsome and feels flustered around her, at least. Around him. And Karis is shy. She's quite shy. But she's very sweet. And she loves her little plant nursery. But her power is, of course, plants. But the thing is, she does not like using her power. So with her plant nursery, she actually grew them all by hand without using her plant power. And it was very hard for her because she was not naturally gifted with plants and like just growing them by hand. But she learned how to do it. Now she's world renowned. Well, not world renowned, but she's renowned in spades in the city. So she just has a building that she runs all by herself, just chock full of all different types of plants. And I love that for her. Honestly, kind of feel her because I am generally shy. But yeah, she loves her work. Her work is fun for her. But I don't remember the reason, but she does eventually end up going to fight the hearts because that's part of it. I have a feeling that maybe someone came and asked her, but I'm not sure how that would stack up with the current way, because I was thinking maybe like Enya and Nebula and Lumi and the rest would like all come together to the port city and they would ask Karis for help with fighting them. But I don't think that would fit with the way the story is going currently, like planned out currently. I still need to work out the general story. I've had this for 4 years, and yet I don't know my characters very well when I think about it. But yeah, she's very cool. I love her. We love her. And I figured out that it would make most sense if, like, since she doesn't use her power, she has an inferiority complex with it. Sometimes she'll definitely feel like she has to use her power in order to help, but since she doesn't use her power normally, she doesn't like using it for whatever reason. And how would that stack up when they're in real crisis? Like, would she be able to tackle everything without using her power? Or would she have to use her power? Would she actually want to use her power in that case? And, like, would there be any mental side effects to using her power? I'm still trying to figure out exactly the magic system. I do want the magic system to have some consequences, because I think those types of karmic magic systems, I guess, are really cool, and they give a lot more depth, because if there isn't any price to using magic, then why doesn't everyone use magic all the time? I think that's a pretty cool thing to think about, because, like, Harry Potter. In Harry Potter, they just used magic, and it was completely normal. However, in the Muggle world, they didn't really, because that's, yeah. Anyways. Sorry, maybe slight spoilers if anyone hasn't read Harry Potter or watched it, I guess. But, yeah. So she really doesn't like using her power, and I am gonna love writing that. And I feel like Tethys is gonna be the reason she does some things. But also Tethys is just an enigma in himself. He's very strange. No one really gets him. Nebula doesn't trust him, which is very notable because Nebula tends to have a really good sense on who's good and who's not good. But yeah, let's move on to Tethys, because he is cool. So Tethys has really long hair that's kind of not related mostly. But he's very cool. He acts mostly normal. He seems kind of, some people don't know whether or not to trust him, and don't know whether they can trust him, which turns into a sort of conflict later on in the story. It's kind of interesting how much I have planned out of the story when I also don't have much planned out, or I don't understand the characters mostly. So, but he's a pretty cool guy. He kind of gives off Gaston vibes. I had to say it. I'm sorry. From Beauty and the Beast. But he is, I love him. He's such a complex character. Complex characters are the best. But he's pretty nice. And he has really cool hair. I think I did already say that. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, as always. But his outfit is very fisherman-esque. So he used to work as a fisherman. Now he's helping out at Karis's plant nursery, except he doesn't help out that much. I'm sorry. He doesn't really, he doesn't really do much. I'm sorry. This is so sad. Why does he have to be like that? But yeah, he has water powers. Very cool, very fitting for a port city. And he doesn't use them much either. What is it about these Spades people and not using their powers much? Like, I assure you, this isn't very normal for Spades people to not use their powers that much. Because, especially if they're, like, plant related, like, water, plants, like, those powers would be so helpful in an agriculture-based city, but they just don't use them, so I don't know. Also, apologies if this sketch is looking very scuffed. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'm just drawing as it feels right. Yeah. Nebula is just super cool. He kind of looks like a bad boy that everyone loves, which honestly, admittedly, is kind of how he portrays himself. For better or for worse. But I guess it doesn't matter that much because that isn't his main character traits and stuff. It does not play into the story that much. But I won't spoil too much, but there are things that he keeps from the other 6. And Karis admittedly is probably the most trusting of him, which is kind of saying a lot because that means Lumi doesn't trust him as much. Okay, this is looking really weird. I'm sorry. I don't know how I'm gonna make this look more normal, but trust me, he's pretty normal in his, like, he doesn't, this is meant to look like cargo pants, cargo jeans, whatever, but yeah, he's honestly a very cool character. I love him, and I love his story too. And yes, he's wearing like a translucent cover-up thingy, and I love it. But that's him. And wow, this video is getting long, but I'm enjoying this, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry, this sounds like crazy so far. I'm sorry if this is painful to watch through, but hey, we're drawing together. We're good. At least, I hope you're drawing. You should be drawing. Drawing is good. It's actually, art is such an outlet. I love it. Make sure you draw, especially if you call yourself an artist. Because, yeah. I'm not saying that you need to draw all the time to qualify yourself as an artist. It's just good for you. So now I'm on to I Know. I love I Know. He's so sweet, so pure. Very much Lumi vibes. Lumi and I Know would be best friends. They will be when they meet each other. But he's just so cool. And him and Lucen are sorta childhood friends. And he honestly doesn't have anything to hide. What is it with these characters and either having something to hide or not? I forget his hair. Okay, this is kind of awkward. That's not his hair. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need to pull up a reference photo. This is not how I expected this to go. I've drawn him before, I promise. I have definitely drawn him before. I drew him not so long ago. Okay, that's right. Okay, I love I Know's hair, and I tend to draw guy characters with not very short hair, but I just think it looks super cool. Guys, do not cut your hair. Do not cut your hair short. Do not give yourself a buzz cut. Trust me, you look better with long hair. Don't listen to whoever tells you otherwise. Okay, end of that. But he is such a sweet guy. He really cares about Lucen. Lucen was working somewhere that was kind of sketchy, but she didn't tell I know that much in detail about where she worked, which honestly, keep that going. You don't want to ruin your innocent friend. Okay, but he just really enjoys being around Lucen, and Lucen enjoys being around him. They have like a 3-year age gap, but it's cool. They're lovely together. I love them. His hair is looking wrong. That's fine. This is just a sketch. I need to remind myself that all the time. But yeah, he has a power called Ether, and that power is not very common at all anymore. Like, no one has it. And for the most part, it's devolved into the powers of light and the power of dark. So he does not know how to use his power. All they know is that he has it. I don't know how they know that. I should probably figure that out myself when I can. But yeah, he's super cool. Sadly, he's kind of powerless. This is giving Unordinary. Unordinary is a really good webcomic, by the way. You should totally read it. But he is just, honestly, he wishes that he could use his power, and he's just never been able to. Poor guy, poor defenseless guy. But eventually, Lucen starts to help him with it, and spoiler, it's very slow going. We don't get much progress with his power until much later. But also, it's a very strong power when he eventually does get it. Which I think he will do. And man, yeah, my plans for this story are very all over the place. Forgive me for that. But yeah, he's very cool. I love him. And he's from the 3rd region, which is the diamonds. Woohoo! Love him for that. And some of the regions kind of blend into each other. There are some parts where there are 2 regions that kind of share the same space. That's kind of cool. That comes into play kind of later. But that's him. And now we're on to Lucen, which admittedly she's probably gone through the most redesigns. But I love her so much. Now she has been in contact with the antagonists. I can tell you this at least. But I'm pretty sure it gets revealed pretty early on, so that's why I can tell you this. Also, I just really like it. That's such a big part of her story. So I'm going to tell you that. But she keeps it a secret from most of them. All of them, really. But she never really wanted to be the villain like she was. So, but her parents were kind of with the Hearts, and so they pushed her to work with the Hearts. And she did for a while. I think she started when she was like 16. It lasted like 3 years, and then eventually they told her to kill someone. She did, but then she immediately quit. Also thanks to Aino's urging. It was just too much for her. That was the breaking point. She's glad she left now. Of course, she regrets what she had to do. And honestly, I don't know exactly why she did it. Probably because she felt like she had no way out. And I'll have to figure out exactly how that comes into play. Honestly, it would be pretty cool if she actually had to leave home right after that, because then, like, her parents would not have liked her quitting at all, and probably wouldn't have accepted her back, really. So I should probably write that in. I have not thought about that before, really. But, yeah, she was 19 when she quit, which is funny, because now I'm 19. But, yeah, she very much agrees with the good side, which is very good, of course. But she still holds so many memories and such a complex with having worked with the enemy. But now she's trying to take them down with Aino, all the while trying to help Aino with his power, because she has the power of light. How ironic. Okay, maybe that's why she had to quit. Okay. But she's super cool, other than her killing someone. But yeah, I love her. She has some of the most complex, she's like one of the most complex characters, because she doesn't want her past to control her, but at the same time she hides her past, and she just wants to run away from her past. But in order to help people, in order to overcome her past, really, she needs to face it head on. And I'm not gonna spoil too much, but like, that eventually ends up kind of biting her in the back, like, since she keeps hiding stuff. And she has some sort of relationship to Lumi. It's not the sweetest relationship, I'm gonna say that, but I'm gonna leave the rest for when I eventually write this and you can read it. Yay. Okay, maybe that's mean, but I'm sorry. So let me just finish this drawing real quick, and then I shall go, because I need to edit this, and then I should probably get to working on my comic that I'm currently working on, instead of working on one that's like a year or more out. Which, by the way, this is going to be the next comic I work on after Doomlight, and I'm so excited for it, because this has been one of my passion projects for 4 years. Doomlight I started working on 2022, literally the year I released it. So Doomlight is more underdeveloped, but the cards has a lot of potential and opportunity to be amazing, so I cannot wait, and I hope you like these characters. Okay, honestly, let me make Tethys bigger. Yeah. And by the way, this is not at all one of my first times using Ibis Paint X. As you can probably tell from how comfortable I am with it, it's actually the first art program I used back when I was drawing on my phone. But then I had to stop using it when I started using my drawing tablet, because for whatever reason, the computer I was using with it could not run Ibis Paint X. I do not know why. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It was probably a little worse than my first one. This has been almost an hour. I apologize if that's a little long. Otherwise, if you enjoy it being this long, please tell me. Please tell me what you think about the length. And I'm sorry again for my congestion. I don't know why it happens. It just does. So, hope you liked it, and now I shall go. Bye. Oh, you thought it was over? Well, I forgot to show you the final products. And also, I still have to show you all of my friends' wonderful comics from the panel challenge, because I need to show you more, because they're just so amazing, honestly. I wish I could do comics as good as some of my friends, and I am amazed that I became friends with them too. So I need to give back to them however I can, even though I probably have a very small viewer base right now. I'll just do whatever I can to support them. So I hope you enjoyed their art, and definitely check them out. Some of them are trying to do their own YouTube videos too. So support them if you can. Watch them if you can. Leave them a supportive comment. I know I forget to do that, but if you can, it would really mean the world to them, I'm sure. And bye. This is for real now. For real now, I'm saying bye. So bye.